So we, a year ago, actually a year and a half ago, bought a church in Audubon Park on Corinne Drive, basically to sort of distill down all of this stuff and create a physical place for people to engage with this kind of idea, this topic, to give small businesses an area to be incubated where they could afford rent and try new things and not have to mortgage their house to start a business. Like our rents start at like $300 a month, so people can get in there and very easily, be around, thousands of people that'll come through the market and other really talented chefs and mentors and get their idea market validated. So, hey, I have this great hummus idea. Will anybody like it? I don't know. Come to the market, test it out. If no one likes it, there was very little risk. If they love it, great. Let's launch you and let you, become the hummus king of Central Florida. So we have a couple principles that we talk a lot about, and it's not just food. So when we talk about how local food is revitalizing Orlando, I think we're seeing this in a lot of other areas, but my angle is food. So when I talk about curation, I'm saying from a food perspective, but there's other people that do it in other ways. So for instance, let's do a non-food example. In Audubon Park, there's a CD store called Park Avenue CDs. How in the world does a CD store stay in business in the age of Amazon and Napster and Pandora and all these groups that they can get it online? Well, it's because it's curated. You go into their store, and rather than 30,000 options, there's 300, and they are awesome. And they know their industry, and they go. You walk in, you're like, hey, I was just driving down the road, I was listening to Rollins radio, and I heard this song that was like, and he's like, oh yes, that's so-and-so, and if you like that, we don't have that CD, but if you like that, you're probably going to like these other three. Hey, here's some headphones, here's those CDs, give it a listen, and we'll come back in 10 minutes. And there's something awesome about that. We want to know that what we enjoy is not just a commodity. I mean, if everybody, I don't know why we're this way, but we want to be individuals, and we want to have tastes that are different, and to have somebody that can kind of cater to your tastes is part of what we're trying to do in food. And that leads me into this concept of taste making. My mom kills me because I say this a lot, but I was really raised on Kraft singles, and I mean, I'd come home from school, take a hot dog out, roll it in Kraft single, and put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and that was snack time. I'm sure I will live a long time because of all those preservatives in my body, but that was cheese to me. That, and then when we got into high school, she got really progressive, and we had like a block of cheddar cheese, but I never saw anything other than yellow cheese in my house. She was a great, protein and 2 sides. That was dinner every night, so I was blessed to have a dinner. But until we met our cheesemonger, so cheesemonger is a fancy word for saying cheese seller, I was sort of befuddled. Why would you order cheese as a dessert? So, you'd look at a menu, and I'm like, I would rather have the chocolate sundae, thank you. But we started understanding that the intricacies of cheese, and if you went through this, the set over here on the right, there's such a variety of textures and stories, and oh, this is goat cheese. Well, oh, goats have milk? I mean, I didn't know that. Maybe everyone does, but oh, that's why that tastes that way, and this is from cow's milk, or this is from, whatever, cat's milk. I don't know that they have cat milk cheese, but maybe they do. But there's a wide variety, and so people don't know, until people have the opportunity to try something, they don't know they like it, and they're scared of it. I mean, our kids are a perfect example, and thank goodness for Daniel Tiger. Mr. Rogers. So the new version of Mr. Rogers is like this little tiger, and they have a little song that goes, "You gotta try new foods 'cause it might taste good." Yes, we say that to our kids all the time. But if we didn't force them to, they would just eat that, and they would just want macaroni and cheese. But by providing them with some things, and they try it and go, oh, I do like this, and something that they wouldn't normally like, like curry or something different. We want to do that in food, and you're seeing people do it in art. You're seeing people do it in music, and just giving people an opportunity to try new things and realize that they like it. Kind of going back to the handcrafted, Cameron and I did a trip to Hawaii, and we saw sushi that was made with Spam. I thought that was pretty disturbing, and that how much processed foods has become the norm, for most Americans. That it's easy, it's shelf stable, it doesn't spoil. But anything that's extruded from a machine, any meat product that's extruded from a machine and is shaped like that is pretty frightening to me. Where on the right is some friends of ours that are charcuterie folks, which is a fancy word for saying basically prepared meats or sausages or pancetta or that kind of stuff. The taste difference it's hard to even explain until you've had it and you go, oh my gosh, like this is amazing, and it's a link to the way we've eaten for thousands of years. These recipes that have been passed down, that have been developed. We now, when you go to the store and go buy sausage in the Publix aisle or whatever, you've got 16 choices, and they're all fairly similar because they know they can sell them and it's not going to scare anybody. Well, there's some of their sausages that are downright scary, but there's some of them that are delicious to me, and I'm happy to try them. But the scary ones, when we do try, a good example, we had octopus, and I mean like fat, like that octopus at a restaurant that's coming into our space with like the suckers on them, like Moby Dick kind of like squid-like stuff. I would never eat that. I am a pretty squeamish eater. I'm a very like texture-wise, if the texture's off, I'm not eating it. So I never would have ordered that, but because they gave it to us, like we were there eating, they're friends, they're like, try this. We loved it, and I would totally order it again. But until they put it in front of me, and I knew they had the attention and care with that product that they wouldn't put something, can I say crappy? Anything crappy in front of us, we gave it a shot. So what we're seeing in our market and other places is people trying new things because they know it's handcrafted, because they trust the artisan that's created it. Where when you're talking about commodity foods, you have no idea who produced it. It's some guy out there, and it's probably removed 4 times from that person down the chain until it got to you anyway. So we're trying to shorten that span and get you in touch with the people that actually made your food. The other side of it is it's what I call flat. It's egalitarian. There's not this hierarchical structure. Orlando right now is the food scene's very nascent. It's very just getting started. There's very little barrier to entry. It's why you saw the explosion in the food truck movement, is that people were saying, oh, if I have an idea and a food concept, I don't need to own a $400,000 restaurant. I can spend 10 grand to fix up an old jalopy food truck and put my product out there. So we're seeing a lot of that, where you're seeing chefs that have been in business for 20 years that are treated the same as the new young guy that's come up with a new hot concept that's like the rock star that's only been at it for a couple months. So we're in a place now where the chain of, oh, well, I have to work as a sous chef, and then I have to work my way up the chain of command until I can be a head chef, that's blown out of the water. Like, if you have a great idea and a great concept and you're using local product, people are going to try what you have, and if it's good, they're going to keep coming back. We don't really care about the cult of personality that much in the food scene anymore. Lastly, there is such pride in owner-operated businesses. There's such a rightness about owner-operated businesses because the people are doing something they love, and that love is reflected in the quality of their product. Where when you go to an industrial farm, they're getting paid. They're like, how little work can I do to get this accomplished? So even as we go through getting East End permitted, there's so many things that we would never allow to happen in a bad way that by code we have to fix. Like, we can't have a sewer line running over a place that food's being prepared, because in some places that would drip and they wouldn't care. Not getting paid enough to care about that. We would care because our people would come back and be like, I got sick from this. So, all these codes that we have to jump through are written because of this, where it's not owner-operated, where some employee could give about what's happening and just wants their paycheck, where these are the people whose blood, sweat, tears, passion, desire, interest in what they're doing is borne out in the product that they, bring to you.